Cadillac is the premier American luxury car, and as one of the country's premier luxury car dealers, Bud Davis Cadillac enjoys the same legacy. But to understand, you must first experience Cadillac. The 07 CTS is our best Cadillac value, available for just $299 a month, and forever in a league of its own. The Cadillac SRX, Car and Driver's best luxury SUV for 3 years in a row. Bud Davis Cadillac, online at buddaviscadillac.com.
Bud Davis Cadillac.
Hi everyone, coming up today on Appeal TV, we'll have the weekly Beifuss movie review. But first, here's commercial appeal music critic Bob Mehr with his story from today's playbook about Charlie Louvin, who at one time, along with his brother, the two were Elvis's favorite duo. And now at the age of 79, he finds his music career getting a second wind.
You've already put big old tears in my eyes. Must you throw dirt in my face?
Hi, this is Bob Mehr, music critic with the Commercial Appeal, and we're listening to the music of Charlie Louvin. Charlie Louvin, along with his brother Ira, were part of the great close harmony and country music duo, the Louvin Brothers. They were born in Alabama and started their career actually playing on radio in Tennessee in the 1930s and 40s. In fact, they spent a good bit of time here in Memphis from the late 40s to the early 50s, and Charlie and his brother both worked at the Hollywood branch of the post office here in town. After leaving Memphis, the brothers moved to Nashville, where they joined the Grand Ole Opry and signed with Capitol Records, where for about a decade they scored a series of hits, kind of combination of bluegrass, country, hillbilly music, and a lot of gospel and murder ballads as well. The act broke up amid tensions in '63. Charlie started a pretty successful solo career in '64, and then Ira died in '65 in a car accident. But by the end of the '60s, their music had really become discovered by a new generation of rock fans, particularly Gram Parsons of the Byrds and Flying Burrito Brothers, who was their great champion and covered their songs many times, and also passed along the sort of Louvin Brothers legacy to Emmylou Harris, who in later years would cover a number of Louvin songs on her albums. Since then, their music and their legacy has continued to grow. They were inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2001, and successive generations of singers and songwriters have covered their song and really been influenced. People from Nick Cave to Johnny Cash, the Raconteurs, and on, Evan Dando, and so forth. And what you have on this record is a combination of Louvin doing classic Louvin Brothers songs and traditional covers, some of his favorites, with a good mix of people, a multi-generational mix of people, country music people like Tom T. Hall and Bobby Mehr, as well as younger musicians like Will Oldham and Jeff Tweedy, who he does a cover of the Louvin song, Great Atomic Power.
Oh, that great atomic power, will you rise and meet your Savior in the air?
The Louvin record is actually pretty successful for this type of project. Unlike so many star-studded celebrity duets albums, this one actually keeps the focus on Louvin, his music, and the legacy of the Louvin Brothers songs. He's been back out on the road. In fact, he's going to be playing at the Memphis Shangri-La Records this Friday, doing an in-store appearance where they'll also be taping a video for one of the album tracks, Ira. And Louvin will also be playing the Bonnaroo Festival later this summer outside of Manchester, Tennessee. And even though he's going to turn 80 in July, he's promised that there's a lot more music in store and that he'll be heading back into the studio soon. So it gives bluegrass fans, country fans, and fans of the Louvin Brothers something to look forward to.
And I sang the low Alabama to the Opry was the second hardest road. The worst was me losing you and singing all alone.
Now it's time for the Beifuss movie review. John Beifuss is out, so here's a taste of what you can read from his reviews in today's playbook. Hot Fuzz, which is playing exclusively in Malco's studio on the Square, is a satire Hollywood cop shoot-'em-up, transported to a small English village.
But all the time, what makes you think it was murder?
Actors Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are funny, but seeing funny people participate in violent, gun-blazing action sequences that are directed in imitation of the real thing isn't that funny. The movie stars probably had more fun playing cops and robbers than audience will have watching them. According to Beifuss, for once, the funniest bits really are in the trailer.
You're gonna bust this thing wide open.
Fracture, starring Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling, is a cat-and-mouse courtroom thriller that probably could have been wrapped up in 50 minutes versus the 112 if maybe Perry Mason had been on the case instead of Gosling.
I shot her.
You shot your wife?
I got the gun. I shot her in the head.
Be careful with this guy. There's something not right about him.
I go in there with a signed confession, and I put this guy in jail.
Beifuss said the surprise in the final twist shows just how obvious the movie seems. Sometimes in crime dramas, when you figure out the ending in advance, you feel smart. But on the other hand, you could be left thinking, how'd he fall for something so obvious? And in our last movie, In the Land of Women, devastated over the breakup with his girlfriend, Carter Webb, played by Adam Brody, leaves L.A. to stay with his wacky grandmother in suburban Detroit. As Carter struggles to reconcile his own inner conflicts, he is drawn into the pains and loves of the Hardwick women across the street, Meg Ryan and Kristen Stewart. Beifuss found the unusual male self-centeredness of In the Land of Women repulsive and astonishing. Meg Ryan's breast cancer, the grandmother's dementia, the teenage girl's angst, all existing primarily to help this young man find himself.
The world out there, it's messy, and it's never the thing.
Even though Beifuss gave this movie 2 stars like the others, those craving a romantic family comedy drama may enjoy this combo of an original Lifetime movie / Garden State. That's it for today, but we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new edition of Appeal TV.
Well?
Wow. The world's most perfectly cut diamond. Thrills like no other. Hearts on fire.